Supreme Chancellor Obi-Wan Kenobi by Stone Freak. Chapter 39. Palpatine visits Obi-Wan's office.
Oh, Chancellor Kenobi, I must say...
Obi-Wan tunes RK2S out before it finishes the sentence. It's been in his office far more and far longer than should be allowed. He knows that many senators believes he needs an assistant, but this droid... It's a security risk, and it's an annoyance. It's not fair to the droid, it's not doing anything wrong, though its constant complaints about how the plants are in the way is starting to really get on his nerves, but he can't help the annoyance he feels. Breathe in the Force, breathe out negativity. Of course, it's hard to do so when the source of your negative feelings is right in front of you and continues to nather on and on. RK2S. Obi-Wan rubs his forehead with a sigh. He needs to find something for the droid to do. Something that will get it out of his hair and his office.
Yes, Chancellor Kenobi?
The droid turns to him and Obi-Wan just looks at it, mind working as hard as it possibly can to try and come up with some form of job it can perform without being around him. The entrance area to my office suite needs to be redone. He jokes out and almost immediately regrets every single life decision he's made to end up here. Redecorating? He's going to make RK2S redecorate!
May I ask what the problem is, Chancellor?
RK2S looks attentive and ready for anything. Of course. Not much red can have a negative impact on, at the very least, most humans. As such, I would suggest a color theme change. The smile on Obi-Wan's face feels brittle. Beige, browns, and greens, perhaps?
Certainly, Chancellor. I can see to it that the entrance hall is repainted. I shall go acquire paint swatches for you to...
No! Obi-Wan doesn't yell the word, but he definitely says it a bit too eagerly. He clears his throat awkwardly. No, it's better if you ask the troops stationed there. They're the ones who work there.
If you say so, Chancellor.
RK2S finally leaves, and Obi-Wan breathes out a sigh of relief. Maybe now he can get some actual work done without worrying about infiltrators at the same time as the droid chatters his ears off. Palpatine is, along with several senators, going to pay his respects to Chancellor Kenobi. Oh, how it wrangles to call him that. Oh, how it wrangles for Palpatine to have to come to his own offices that he ensured were built for him to offer his support to someone else, someone undeserving. The corruption investigation is still ongoing. It's unlikely they will find anything that will cost him more than a slap on the wrist and some fines, so it's absolutely paramount that he appears to harbor no ill feelings towards Kenobi. After all, when his plan finalizes and the blasted Jedi finally gets what he deserves, it's best if he appears to lack a motive. Of course, what Kenobi truly deserves is wearing a Sith torture mask, hidden away in a dungeon somewhere until Palpatine has completed his plan. Hidden away where no one but Palpatine can find him. Hidden away somewhere Palpatine can watch him suffer. Oh, Kenobi's suffering must be a beautiful thing to behold. Palpatine is sure of it. When the Jedi are finally dead, exterminated as the vermin they are, Kenobi deserves to have the mask removed, so Palpatine can watch horror and anguish form on Kenobi's face as he reaches out for bright life forces that have been there his whole life to find them gone. Kenobi deserves to be utterly and completely destroyed. This would have been a lot easier to make into reality if Kenobi was still running around on the battlefields and actively fighting in the war. Now Palpatine might just have to make do with the man's death. A shame, but better than nothing. He walks the tightrope of moving quickly without being sloppy. He cannot risk to be found out, but the longer it takes, the more damage Kenobi will have time to cause. Leaving those thoughts aside, Palpatine chatters amicably with the other senators, keeping up the same careful facade he has had for years right under the Jedi's noses. Kenobi has never suspected anything before. He certainly will not now, either. Besides, this opportunity will give Palpatine a chance to see what Kenobi has done with the offices so far. If he's changed anything, Palpatine will need to know before he makes his move. Know your terrain before you strike. Stepping out of the turbo lift and into the security airlock area, Palpatine carefully keeps his face blank as the clones come into the room to search all the visitors. Clones! That Kenobi willingly surrounds himself with them is both incomprehensible and possibly useful. Why anyone would be surrounded by created things like clones is beyond Palpatine. They're useful means to an end, but no more than that. However, if Palpatine can manage to engage the chips and enact Order 66, even without holding the position of Commander-in-Chief of the GAR, it would be of utmost use to have Kenobi surrounded by them. After all, if a small group of clones go rogue and kill Supreme Chancellor Kenobi, well, that would just be tragic, wouldn't it? The inspection clears them not a second too soon, in Palpatine's opinion. Honestly, the clones were overly meticulous in their search for anything nefarious, as if anyone with any intelligence aiming to kill the Supreme Chancellor would have anything to be found. Surely they would be more subtle and well-prepared than that. He steps into the hallway and stops. Quite frankly, he freezes in his tracks. Browns, greens, beige, white, plants! Gone is the steel, red and black, replaced by earthy Jedi colors. Plants! Realizing he's fallen behind the rest of the group, Palpatine forces himself to keep moving forward. The clone manning the reception, "Where is Thurwalk?" looks at him suspiciously. How dare it look at him like that? It's a clone! How dare it look at him with anything less than complete and utter respect? Oh, most of the galaxy would be impressed with his ability to keep a straight and placid facial expression despite how rage courses through him. "You can head to the office, senators, sir." The clone gestures towards the door. It never gets less galling to be spoken to without a title. A constant reminder of what Kenobi has robbed him of. No longer Chancellor, no longer even Senator. Merely Mr. or Sir Palpatine. Of course, entering the public office is just another source of complete and utter rage. And I will kill you! I will strike you down where you stink and help me! Plants! The entire public office is covered with plants! The Sith red walls and much of the carpet are drowned out by greens and browns and blues and pinks and yellows and the entire spectrum of colors! The living force, light and disgusting, is practically humming all around the office. There's a humongous Duni hydrangea completely covering the bronzium statue of Brata of Duarte. There's a humongous Duni hydrangea completely covering the bronzium statue of Brata of Duarte. Once Palpatine has his empire, one of the first things he will order is the public execution of Mama. No, he will imprison her, utterly destroy Handu, and make her watch every moment, and then have her executed. Or maybe kill her himself. He'll have to see. Gentle beings, please do sit down. Kenobi comes into the public office. His plain Jedi robes are an affront to the office he holds. How dares he act as Supreme Chancellor while looking and acting exactly like a Jedi? Palpatine will use it against him. He will destroy him! The meeting goes by quickly. Clones skulking about in the background the entire time. With Kenobi talking circles around the admittedly rather dim-witted senators Palpatine came to the office with. It's interesting to see how Kenobi subtly avoids engaging Palpatine himself in both debate and conversation. "Mr. Palpatine," Kenobi says, face placid and voice unfailingly polite.
Chancellor Kenobi.
Palpatine wonders what Kenobi is playing at. Does he suspect something? He cannot possibly. Or has he found something in the files? It must have been Kenobi who went looking. It cannot have been anyone else. "It was nice to see you drop by. I'm glad to see there are no hard feelings between us regarding this whole situation." For the briefest of moments, Palpatine almost thinks Kenobi is being genuine. That he genuinely thinks Palpatine harbors no resentment. But then he sees the sharp glint in his eyes.
Of course not, Chancellor Kenobi. It's your job to do what's in the Republic's best interests, so you certainly must consider every angle.
It appears Kenobi is a stronger opponent than Palpatine first believed. But no matter, Palpatine will still win in the end. Kenobi will be destroyed completely and utterly.